So I'm so grateful to be here with you. As some of you know out there, Jayne and my connections to this part of Boston go deep. We've been longtime supporters of Bethel AME, working as partners with Ray and Gloria, with Roxbury Presbyterian Church and the Social Impact Center there. More recently with Robert Lewis and his great work at the base, and our own Marissa Prince and her work with More Boston. Fantastic work she's doing there. Thank you. It's so great to be here in one of Boston's most dynamic and culturally diverse neighborhoods. Our Commonwealth is blessed to have communities like Roxbury, places with so much pride and potential. There's one thing I know about this neighborhood, it's that it's home to wonderful people with a passion to achieve their own American dream and build up and invest in their community. But how are things going here? See, stepping back, if you ask any economist, they'll say the American economy is in good shape. It's trending in the right direction on the heels of historic tax cuts for families and small businesses, and unemployment is at a near all-time low. So by all accounts, things are looking up for the economy generally. At the same time, if you look around at some parts of Massachusetts, Lawrence, Fall River, Springfield, in some parts of Boston, you won't find the same experience or the same optimism. You see, things may be improving, but they're improving far too slowly, while other neighborhoods around this state are moving ahead at a far greater pace. Let me take this opportunity this evening to say, as your U.S. Senator, I promise I will advocate for this community. I will work to bring opportunity back to these neighborhoods and help it to catch up with the rest of the state and the rest of the country's economy back on track once more. We can achieve this through a variety of means, through tax cuts, through a new investment tool called Opportunity Zones that I'm going to talk about tonight, and by cutting red tape. This past year, Congress passed the largest tax cut in American history. People will pay a lot less in taxes and it will be simpler to file. We need a tax code that's both fair and simple, and this is a good first step. Here in Massachusetts, we've seen the positive effects of tax reform already. In the first 7 months since tax reform, we've created 5,000 new jobs in this state, and the average family has earned a tax break of more than $1,400. But let's face it, that average family likely doesn't live in Roxbury. Most people in Roxbury didn't receive a large tax cut. So we need to look beyond tax cuts to identify policies and programs that can help bring more economic growth to areas that historically have been left behind. Investing in these communities can actually be a matter, as we know, of life and death. Life expectancy in these neighborhoods hovers around 60 years. A few miles away in the Back Bay, it reaches 92. That is an outrageous and an unacceptable disparity. Just down the street from here is an area, and locals know it, known as the Methadone Mile. The opioid crisis is hitting hard here. The opioid crisis is hitting hard here, and its root cause is despair and a lack of hope. There's another great disparity, the wealth gap. The Federal Reserve Bank estimates the net worth of African Americans in Boston is $8. Not $8,000 or $80,000, but $8. For white families in Boston, it's about $250,000. That gap is both unconscionable and unacceptable. But there is hope that this tide will turn. There's already been some good works done in reviving directing public investment dollars to reviving Roxbury and other urban communities, the Boston Police Headquarters, the Boston Public Schools Headquarters, Roxbury Community College expansion. But I'm here to say we must do more. We have to create great private sector jobs so incomes can rise and health outcomes improve. I've spent my entire career working in the private sector and investing in businesses. I've seen the spirit of America in the faces and the hearts of every small business owner that I've encountered. They're hardworking Americans embarking on a brave undertaking, an incredible journey. So it's about time Washington got the message that these businesses and these business owners create the jobs, not the government. So let's move ahead first by placing our economy firmly in the hands of the people who make this country great, the American workers. And that deserves a shout out there, the American workers. We need a hand clap for that one. Thinking of you there. I'm thinking of you there. We have to make sure that the gains from an improving economy don't just flow to the same old places and fill up the same old pocketbooks. It's time to be daring and unleash the talents and the energies that have long been suppressed in communities like Roxbury. I don't know if any of you have seen what the kids at the base wear on the backs of their t-shirts often. It says, "We are American talent," because that's what it's all about. These are not problems to be solved for. They represent possibilities that are endless, lives that are worthy to be invested in. Endless possibility. So we have to take risks for Roxbury so that its residents don't just get by, don't just survive, but are able to thrive, to live life to the fullest. In that spirit, the new tax code created a way to help communities like Roxbury improve economic outlooks. Opportunity zones encourage long-term investments in low-income urban and rural communities to spur economic growth in these areas. Now, I could get all wonky and tax codey tonight, but I'm not going to. It's just not the right night, not the right situation. There you go, gotcha. But the bottom line is, there are, tucked away in the new tax code, the work of a good man, I know well, Senator Tim Scott from South Carolina, good man. The work of Senator Scott to get opportunity zones into this tax code, it creates a great tool to leverage investments into communities like this. As I'll get to in a moment, it's not quite far enough along yet, more to come on that, but it is an amazing tool. As I said earlier, I've worked over the years with some wonderful organizations here, and I know the differences that these groups and people can make. Helping to heal broken families, helping to heal addicted parents and children, addressing crime and incarceration cycles, and all of that is great work. But now it's time to go further, to invest capital, to create economic opportunities and jobs for urban residents. You see, 1 in 6 Americans live in distressed communities, quote unquote. That's part of the definition under the Opportunity Zone. That's simply unacceptable. These communities need an opportunity so they no longer survive, but thrive. As we said earlier, it's not survive, but thrive. Because poverty isn't a Democrat or Republican issue. It's an American issue that requires an American solution. And as your advocate in the Senate, I will work with Governor Baker and Mayor Walsh to maximize the potential of opportunity zones here so that federal, state, and local resources can be used to jumpstart, not obstruct, private sector development. We need that here now in Roxbury. Let's not send our dollars downtown or over the internet to Amazon. Let's build retail and commercial businesses here so that jobs and incomes can grow. Now I'm going to just have to say to you all that I'm a little disappointed this evening. I wanted to come here tonight, talk about how we, Jayne and I, we're going to invest in the opportunity zone that exists here in Roxbury. But as I mentioned earlier, it's just too new. The law and the regulations haven't been worked out. There isn't anything to do quite yet. We're going to be on the front lines of that. We're going to be in the vanguard of that. We just couldn't figure out a way to get there tonight. But we'll be back here. We'll be back here in the general election talking more about this, so stay tuned for that. No matter what the tool, no matter what the investment possibilities, no matter what the resources, the leverage, the way we're going to get this done, here's my promise to you. I will always work to unite people, as I have done my entire life, so we can tackle these important issues as one nation, indivisible. Again, these aren't democratic solutions nor Republican solutions, but American solutions to all of these problems. One nation, indivisible. We're in this together. I invite you to join me on this journey, in this movement. And I humbly ask you for your vote on September 4th and your support on through the general elections next 9 weeks after that, so we can restore the American dream to so many people in so many communities across this state just looking for an opportunity to succeed. Thank you all for being here. I look forward to getting to meet those folks that I haven't had a chance to talk with already. So grateful to have you all here. Thank you again, Ron Bell, for pulling this together. Thank you. Good night.